many. We've got the whole games there now. That's how good the game's gone.
Yeah, it's amazing. You said someone 10 years ago there'd be 2,000 people watching the World Cup final. In 5 years ago, they probably wouldn't believe it.
It is brilliant, and I cannot wait to get back to the best in action here at Cinch Stadium today, because the World Cup was great, but this is what we wanted since February for. It's been a long time between games, hasn't it?
Yeah, obviously it's a bit of a winning season this year, having the World Cup come on in the summer, but I think having the Cup such a big opportunity for everyone to play a bit of minutes and come on in the World Cup. It's really good to be back here, back home as a rugby game.
I know most of the girls are hoping that she couldn't be to get back to play on this kind of ground.
Yeah, so I mean, coming in when you're 18 and seeing this pitch, it's like, can't wait to go. It's amazing.
We finished last season really strongly, and a really good run towards the end of the season. I know we had a blip last week. It was a really high scoring game that could have probably gone either way, but we're going to want to make a mark, and we're going to want to win today and start this season, certainly our home campaign, the way we finished off last year.
Yeah, definitely. That win against Trailfinders was amazing. That drop goal slowing around the last 5 minutes was incredible. And like you say, going away against Quins last week, to be able to put that kind of performance in them, just sets us a great standing to be at home today against a team like Sale and really match them today.
And Sale really improved as well this season. They made some big name signings. They played brilliantly through the cup. They got a great win from the pack down Haywood Road last weekend. They are going to be a challenge this year.
Yeah, they're definitely a force to be reckoned with. They've got some other things.
I'm about to flip the script, flip the switch, magic trick, watch this, watch this. I'm about to make you trip, make you glitch, camera click, watch this, watch this. I put it like gold, check out the view. Out with the old, and in with the new. I'm in my new era, I'm better in my new era. I'm better in my new era.
Good afternoon, everybody, from a sunny East Midlands. We're at the Cinch Stadium at Franklin's Gardens for round 2 of the supercharged Premiership Women's Rugby. Loughborough Lightning hosting Sale Sharks Women. Kick-off at 1 p.m.
If 9-1 was sponsor me, that'd be great. I could really do that.
Well, here we are, riding the crest of that Rugby World Cup wave. It was just over a month ago that England were last in action here against Samoa in their journey to raise that trophy. But now we're here for the PWR, a blockbuster opening weekend, and now round 2 here offering us up Loughborough Lightning against Sale Sharks, who got off to a flyer in round 1. Loughborough Lightning scoring 42 points away from home, but coming away with the L. They'll be determined to notch one up in the win column. So we got a great game ahead of us, and I've got a great guest alongside me as well. Lightning, Scotland, bit injured at the moment. Ellis Martin, we're so glad to have you along.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm really excited to be here, and it's so sunny and it's not too cold, so I'm not disappointed by that.
Pristine conditions for running rugby, which is something that Loughborough love to do, the team that you're part of. But before we get on to that, we are just sort of going to come back to that World Cup which you're a part of. I mean, just share your thoughts with us about it.
Look, I have so many thoughts on the World Cup. I could probably be here all day commentating the World Cup. It was an incredible experience, and obviously for me as a Scotland player, to be so close to home was just remarkable. There was more Scotland flags in that stadium than I think I'd ever seen in my life when we played that first game against Wales. So yeah, an unforgettable experience for me as a player, but also as a supporter of women's rugby.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we're tapping into sort of that buoyancy that the entire World Cup has brought to the UK, around the globe, in fact. And, you know, we're seeing the crowds that are pouring into the stadiums. The trophy is on show here today as well. So some of the fans have been getting up close and personal with a trophy that hopefully, look, we're seeing a lot of socks out there. They've been out on the pitches outside Franklin's Gardens. This is the next generation we're talking about, boys and girls as well here. Inspiring stuff.
Absolutely. I mean, look, women's rugby inspires everybody. It's such a community, family feel to it. People are always smiling, laughing. There's always bits of fancy dress. There's kids. There's everything going on here. And, like, you know, you would never come away from a women's rugby game and say that it wasn't entertaining. So we're definitely getting in the right amount of people and building the crowds. And it starts with those young people there who are out in the back pitches this morning, getting their knees muddy. Yeah, it's brilliant to see.
Now, England have gained a trophy. I know, much to your chagrin as a Scotswoman, but they've also lost a legend. Emily Scarrett retiring, one of Lightning's very own, started her journey with Lichfield and has just had such a remarkable imprint on the game as a whole. Can you speak to us about, you know, what she means to the game and also to Lightning as well, stepping away?
I mean, she's been at Lightning. I've only obviously been part of Lightning for the last 2 seasons, but she's been there for a long time, and she's always committed her energy to it. She's always committed as a player coach, now as a coach, and she'll continue to do so probably, hopefully, for as long as possible. But she's just absolutely remarkable. She's one of those people as well that she has every right to not be humble, but she's the humblest person you'll ever meet, and it's just brilliant to see. It's really, really incredible. She's brilliant.
I know that she's going to be playing a really key role in sort of mentoring some of these really young, talented Loughborough players who are coming through the ranks. We'll get onto that when we run through the team sheet. So there's been a bit of action already in the PWR, an absolute ding-dong at Sandy Park, points aplenty, and, well, Gloucester Hartbury are continuing in their winning ways. They were dominant in the first half, but Exeter came back to almost sting them.
Yeah, for sure. Look, I mean, I think the halftime score was obviously 7-33, and then they came back to win 47-31. But that just shows you what Exeter might have in their back pocket. They've not had a lot of time together, so there's possibility there that in that second half they started gelling, they started getting a little bit better. So, you know, you don't know what you're going to see next week, the week after, when teams start to really gel and come back together, and a little bit of time can do wonders, as they say. So we'll see what continues happening.
Tatiana Hurd with a hat-trick there, by the way. That's the power of the Red Roses. Simultaneously today, Leicester Tigers are taking on Bristol Bears. You can catch that on YouTube. Not that we want you to leave us here at Franklin's Gardens, OK? But if you're a die-hard Tiger or Bear, then we understand. And then you got to turn over to TNT. Saracens v Quins. North London London Derby, a repeat of last year's semi-final, a repeat of the PWR Cup that was played earlier this season. So loads to love about the fixture list today. And with that Gloucester Hartbury win, the table takes a bit of a turn, because after round one, not many would have picked it, but Sharks were top of the league after a really impressive win against your former Tigers. Yeah,
do you know what? I was really happy to see that. I won't let any of the Loughborough girls say that, but I was really happy to see it. They shouted about it on their social media, which I also loved. That it was really creative, and yeah, it was great to see them there after a hard couple of seasons being a Sharks fan.
Yeah, Gloucester Hartbury leading the way as they so often have done. They couldn't do 4, could they, Ellis?
I hope not.
Love that, love that. Okay, right, well, look, so that's the lay of the land. We've got a fine match on our hands. And earlier on, I caught up with 2 key people, Tom Hudson, the head coach of the Sale Sharks Women, and Carmela Morale, the vice-captain of Loughborough Lightning. Carmela, great to be back at Franklin's Gardens, Lightning's home. Last week you played so well, but the victory escaped you. How have you guys sort of picked through that result from last week?
Yeah, I think we took a lot of confidence from that. Like, the way we attacked and how exciting our rugby was awesome. It's just fixing up on the little mistakes we made to let Quins back into the game. So that's what we've been looking at this week, and hopefully we can put that performance on the pitch again without the little mistakes that we made last week.
It's a real youthful feel to Loughborough Lightning. You yourself, you're vice-captain. What is it like being sort of the leader of that young cohort in this team?
I think we've got a really exciting young cohort, and you've got the likes of like Lucy Calladine, captain at under-20s level. So we've got a lot of leadership experience as the young players, and I think it's just been awesome to bring that through from the cup block into the Prem block, and I think it's made our squad a lot more cohesive than it has been in the past.
Sale, tough task. How do you win today?
We've got a game plan, looking at a lot of like being direct, earning the rights to then play around them. But we're really excited for the test that they've got, because I know they've got a lot of confidence coming into this game and being top of the league already. So yeah, it's a big challenge, but we're really up for it.
Great, go well out there.
Thank you very much.
Tom, here we are, Franklin's Gardens round 2. You come here top of the league. What a fine start last week.
It was, yeah, it really was. We were really happy with not just the rugby, with everything else. Return of internationals, sell out our ground, good run of few training sessions, but yeah, real test today.
You mentioned the return of internationals, Morwenna Talling, Holly Aitchison, World Cup winners. How have they bedded in, and what are your expectations of them coming into this today after a really gruelling World Cup to claim that crown?
Well, they've done exceptionally well. Like the bedding in isn't really my process; it's the performance staff behind the scenes. They've had a lot of long, hard conversations about where we get them to this point of being at their best. We expect them to play between 60 and 70 minutes, and we expect them to play their best, no doubt about it.
Now, Leicester last week, but arguably a step up this week against one of the long-established sides in the PWI, have made multiple playoffs. Where's the game won and lost today against Loughborough Lightning?
Well, set piece. I will say this: I watched their game last Friday night thinking that they were the better team. I thought they were really unlucky to come away with a loss, but they have some very, very, very good game plan, very good players, but their set piece is formidable, and we've got to look after that today.
Go well out there, Tom.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
A guard of honour for our PWR players of distinction, and Loughborough Lightning have Carmela Morale as vice-captain in the centres, partnering USA Eagle Ala Kelter. There's been some team sheet chaos by the late withdrawal of Lily Ives Campion. It means that Hainiala Lutui moves from number 8 to second row. She partners Becky Boyd, and Daisy Hibbert-Jones moves to 8, and it heralds the first PWR start for Talia Brody. Don't worry, there's still 13 World Cup stars in there, because Fancy Bermudez has been brought in wearing 21 to make her Loughborough Lightning debut today. For Sale Sharks, the first thing you're going to say is, where's Erica Jarrell Cersei? Well, she's at a wedding in the USA, but you lose a Jarrell Cersei, you gain a World Cup winning Red Rose in Morwenna Talling. She partners Iona Antris, who's one of only 2 in this Sale side who have tasted victory against Loughborough Lightning in the league. Holly Aitchison, another Red Rose, returns to partner Amy Ralph at halfback. That means Lizzie Duffy moves to full back. Among the replacements, plenty of talent, and one who we heard before we saw. Trudy Cowan, wearing 20, warms up for every game by singing opera on the pitch. She stalks every blade of grass here in the build-up. Major Nikki O'Donnell purses her lips to this one. History doesn't favour the Northern Predators in this fixture, but there's a sense that these are Sharks with sharpened PWR teeth, as Loughborough and Leah Green receive the first kick of the day in their change kit of black. Up against the red current of Sale. Big carry in the midfield. Just Loughborough building the phases. And Helen Nelson just distributing, but a big boom sees the ball dislodged, and it's the first bit of transition play for Sharks. The line speed fierce, led by Sagapolu, and Holly Aitchison puts boot to ball. Minor duel with Nelson. That's a tricky angle, and I tell you what, that is the angle of all angles, a 50-22 for Lightning.
I think it's going to be quite a fierce kick battle today with Holly Aitchison and Helen Nelson on the pitch for sure.
Well, too much of a stretch, and it's a repeat for Lucy Calladine, who missed her first start last week in the opener against Quins. And from that, Sale are looking to put a bit of air on it. Weaver the hips and taken down before the 10. That was a bullet that was taken really very well by Eva Donaldson. Stole Scotland's only line out at the Rugby World Cup, Eva Donaldson. She'll be crucial when it comes to set piece today. Bit of fractured field for Lightning to look at. Westcombe Evans. Latui. No one carried more, and with more menace than the number 8 last week in the league. Her Premiership debut, carried like an experienced warrior. Bit stodgy in the middle, nice offload. Becky Boyd, almost in behind the cell defence. Whip to the left, numbers here. But the pass goes astray from Leah Green. Little bit clunky from both sides, and some crossing yields the first penalty of the match.
We're just seeing it being a little bit clunky right now. I think given it's the start of the game, that might have been expected. But these girls have had a couple of weeks together now, and we're hoping that possibly over time in this match they can start picking that back up again, getting a little bit more fluid.
Yeah, it's important to not understate the disruption of the World Cup. As magic as it was, the reintegration of a lot of international players into all these teams is a challenge, a bit of an unknown quantity as well.
100%, and I think it's, as you said, understated is definitely the right word. You bring back these phenomenal players with phenomenal skill set, but the thing that makes teams win is when they're together, when they're connected, and when they're thinking the same things. A brilliant player who gives an offload that's then not picked up, things like that, it just it doesn't work, does it?
Yeah, and I think, a lot of players have had different World Cups as well. They'll have had different World Cups as teams. They'll have had different World Cups as individuals. If we look at Holly Aitchison, for example, supremely talented. There's no doubt about it, and a World Cup winner. But she didn't see as many minutes as she probably would have wished to. So she's going to have a different approach as someone who's played 60, 80 minutes every game all the way through.
100%, and you look at someone like Sadia, player of the match in the last match. She made 112 tackles over the course of the World Cup, which is the most out of anyone, which is ridiculous also, can we just say. She's someone who's then come off such a great World Cup. She had a brilliant first match against Quins, and those two people, despite having the same medal around their neck, completely different experiences, as you've said, and it's going to make for very different starts to the PWR.
Well, look, sad to say that there's an early departure within a few minutes here. Nick James leaving the field and heading down the tunnel. It heralds the arrival of Sophie Benevent, who joined from Tigers, part of this big cohort that were once of Leicester, and it's a real big bruising carry from Katana Howard, taking some names with her. It's an awkward pass that causes Kasolo to have to stoop, and possession back in the hands of Lightning.
I was going to say, of course, it was Sadia Kabea coming up to make that massive tackle right after we'd said that.
Well, Kabea again carrying. It was an all-court display from her against Harlequins last week. There wasn't a blade of grass she didn't cover, was there?
No, she was ridiculous is the word I'm going to use, actually. I've never seen someone play quite that well. She was outstanding.
Left wing, right wing, scrum half, breakdown.
Bulldozer.
Smart claim at the tail, and it offers a quick route to that midfield where Howard is making a dent once more. Sale demonstrating their directness as Amy Cockayne comes round the corner. What a key player the captain is for the Sharks. That's a big shot coming in. Sagapolu. Well, half a tackle made and a big bust from Childs. Red card last week in unusual circumstances, a double yellow. Smart hands pop through the hole. There goes Antwis. Aitchison picks out Kasolo. Nice switch with Howard. Back into the fog of war and wears two Lightning shoulders for her troubles. Penalty advantage in the back pocket of the Sharks. Bartlett. Cockayne goes scrum half. Aitchison dribbles a tricky kick, targeting that upright, and there's a bit of mayhem to diffuse, and eventually Matayonga deals with it.
I think usually in this area of the pitch you would start to see the play tighten up a little bit, be a little bit more direct, but you can see Sale here are still taking the ball quite wide, and it's given them that outside shoulder to keep making breaks and making busts. That was a great decision from Holly to just put it through, put Lightning under a lot of pressure.
Hey, by the way, for your guide, with the team sheets earlier, Kendall Wardby is now wearing 20 and Fancy Bermudez is wearing 21. So the replacements need to be changed for Loughborough.
Wait for the arm to come down.
First examination of Sale's driving maul. It's been weaponised to such good use over the years, but another line-out throw doesn't go the right way, and you certainly don't expect that from Amy Cockayne.
I was about to say that's an uncharacteristic mistake from Amy there, but I wonder, Loughborough were right up next to Eva there in the line out. That is a very difficult ball to take. Or is that Iona in the air? Yeah, it's Iona. So that was a difficult ball to keep straight if there's that much pressure on.
Well, the replacement was temporary, I'm glad to say so. Nick James, who was on the bench against Tigers last week, returns and brings her collegiate state powerlifting championship prowess to the scrum.
I think this is the first scrum of the game as well, so it'll be interesting to see who gets the ascendancy and who stamps some dominance on this set piece. Also a little bit of chat back from Amy Cockayne to the ref there. That's definitely not uncharacteristic from her.
I think you see by the smile on the face of Nikki O'Donnell, she's seen and heard it all. Well, there's a statement. Pulverising scrum from the Sale Sharks. A message sent to the Lightning pack.
Absolutely. I mean, I think Sale were just a little bit lower and a little bit more aggressive on that hit. It's one of the most important parts of that scrum is when the referee says set, you want to be across the mark and firing into the other team, and that's exactly what they just did.
Well, if Loughborough can harness that power on the drive, well, it's not claimed cleanly. It was in the fingertips of Eva Donaldson at the tail, but she will now carry with a bit of ballast behind her. Ball squirts out. It's a little messy in the contact area from Sale at the moment. Not something you come to expect with the Northern grit in their DNA. Late arrival from Donaldson, who's fighting her way to the paint, but short. Sale, move left. Casolo, denied from close range. Back to the right they go. Aitchison picks a pass at depth. It's a brilliant read from Westcombe Evans. She needed to stick that hit and save a certain try. Talling. She can't find a way through. Heroic defence from Lightning. Sale persist with the battering ram. Tip it on once more. Casolo. Her turn. But the same result. Eventually penalty conceded. A little shift in play. Aitchison just pops it into the path of Lizzie Duffy. And she can't finish the job.
Look, they're being really abrasive in this area. They're making a lot of low carries and they're swinging at the right time. It's just that execution of that final pass.
Well, Duffy was in, wasn't she?
Absolutely. Should have put her head down.
She continued to stumble on nose first to the turf. It would have been a try, and scrum called. Interesting option here.
Yeah, I think calling a scrum in this area is good if you, especially with that first really dominant scrum, you're tying in a lot of your big tacklers into that area and giving yourself more space to attack.
Sale's backs stacked to the right. Howard and Willis to the right of Holly Aitchison, who's just about to skip into shot to deliver a few fresh tactics. Wills has got a big job to keep Aleph Kelter quiet today, but first and foremost, it's Kelter and Morale who've got to try and keep Howard and Wills out, depending on which way Sale move. And, well, the free kick can't be converted into a scrum, of course, anymore. Tap and go, Casolo going solo. Round the corner comes Antwis. Talling, keen for a carry. But it's muscular work with their backs to the paint. Oh, thunderous shot. A bone rattler, denying the Sharks. Talling once more. Still no way through. And eventually, does the error come? Yes, it does. And Loughborough survived the onslaught.
What a hit that was from May there. I was shocked. It took someone take a breath watching that.
Well, we're going to get another look at it. Ideally hope. What about this from Lightning?
Yeah, look, it's brilliant pressure on the try line. You know when you're in this area that you need to cause errors quickly. You need to get off the line. And they've done just that, and they caused that error, which is great.
Loughborough hold it steady, but it begins to creak. Bremner hold it, told to get it away, and Kelter is always good for a carry. Made a brilliant opening bust at the stoop last week.
In this area, you're really looking to have a steady ruck so that you can get that exit away, just as Nellie's done here.
A fine clearance and a button undone round the collar of the Lightning. Some breathing room for the first time in a while. Casolo sprung and off the top. Howard slips it out the back, really eye-catching shapes. Thorpe racing in, but has the ball dislodged. They defended well down that flank, Loughborough. That seems to be the main focus of the Sharks' backs play right now. Sagapolu demonstrating her power both sides of the ball. And now, Aitchison and the Sharks rebuild from the backfield. Duffy spots some undefended turf, but one skip through, and Nelson's there. Westcombe Evans, so good to see her back and scoring. Bit of a rusty pass off the left hand.
It got there, a bounce pass as we call it.
Yeah, the most difficult ball to defend in the world. But Loughborough have certainly capitalised on it, and look at that, they're into the Sharks' half.
Absolutely, I think when you enter into a kick battle, this is actually where you want to end up, isn't it? In your opposition's half.
And
Twist takes it cleanly. Howard comes like an express train And the seam between the tail and the 10, and it is a brave tackle to bring her down from Matayonga. Sharks on the front foot. Little absence of authority there for the next phase. Donaldson all alone. Aitchison flashes it across the face. Red Rose to Red Rose as Talling hits a hole. More penalty advantage, and the attempted an inventive volley from Wills.
I think she
means
was.
We come back to the initial call.
She was definitely trying to kick that back up into her hands, and do you know what? If it had worked out, it would have been absolutely outstanding, wouldn't it?
Do you reckon? I think she's going for Rosette.
Yeah, maybe.
Lightning on the 20, mate. 22 for Lightning. 22's you.
18 minutes played, and South Sharks enjoying the lion's share of possession, of territory, of opportunity. But credit to the Loughborough defence, which is holding firm at the moment.
I'm really enjoying seeing also them try the tail. They're pushing to the back, and that's something you don't always see, especially not in this area.
But this time, a little more pragmatism as they find the middle, and Cockayne is trying to keep herself embedded with the rest of her teammates. But now Aitchison will go to Wills. Lovely sort of show go and dart through the hole, but she's got Kelter clamped to her limbs. Hand up. Charles wants to carry, gets it. Casolo offers the support. Ball fist across the face into the hands of Rona Lloyd, and too tight to the touchline for the Scottish international.
You just see her as well trying to cut in and trying to cut that line so that doesn't happen. Something Kelter's very, very good at is that physical battle, and she's just won it there, getting her right out there.
Well, it's the first time we've mentioned Rona's name, and that's not often because she is a 2,000% player, isn't she, Rona Lloyd?
Absolutely, that is on field and off field. She's always got the best energy. She's a brilliant teammate for sure.
The line-out isn't really a banker ball for anyone at the moment, certainly not for Loughborough, and Lucy Calladine has got a couple that haven't worked out for her. Very, very hot prospect, Calladine. In fact, there's a huge core of players involved here who are either recent graduates or current students at Loughborough University. That's on the Lightning side. Then you look at Sale. There's so many with the Loughborough DNA upon them. Cockayne gets her turn to find her jumper, and this one's broken away. And Sharks eventually get bogged down, although there's some Loughborough hands that are infiltrated, and it's a turnover to Lightning.
I need to say as well, I think at one point when that broke away, it was just Anne Young at the front there and no other Loughborough players. So to be able to keep that under wraps was actually extremely impressive from her.
Former Shark, Anne Young, so eager to get one over her old friends.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like there's a wee bit of something going on here between her and Nick James, a little conversation. Hopefully it was positive, but you never know with the front row.
You really are an optimist, aren't you? I think that it was positive.
I'm hoping so. Anne is, but she's actually, I live with Anne. She's one of my best friends. She's usually very positive, so I'm going to keep my fingers crossed on that one.
It's Jekyll and Hyde with rugby players when they cross the whitewash onto the field of play.
You do need to be a bit crazy to be a front row, so we'll leave it at that.
Brebna Holden has a messy picture ahead of her, and will Sale are roaring in appreciation of their own efforts, but the penalty's gone against them, and Sadia Kabeya's making sure they know it. Con Ellis, what went on there?
honestly, I would have given it the other way, so I don't want to say something wrong. Oh, it looks like our tight head, Nick James, there had taken the angle in. In a scrum, you've got to be square and you've got to be pushing square, and then she's obviously not done that, and the penalty's gone the way of Loughborough.
Those darts are better from Caladine. It'll be a nerve settler for her as well. And now she's trying to burrow her way in to take control of the joystick at the back. Fist to Morale. Nelson just pops up a gift for Wills. She hesitated just for a moment. If she'd committed fully, Wills could have been away there.
Absolutely. Look, that's an Evie Wills special, getting that intercept. It was unfortunate that she didn't take it quite like she could, but that's a dangerous position to be in. It happened last week, and we saw Quinn scoring a try, so we can't be putting ourselves in that position.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, because I think, you know, from what I've garnered, there's a real sense of lost opportunity last week, because Lightning played well. There was the intercept, there was the try that came from Sadia Kabeya, maybe forcing an offload. So some tries that could have not been offered up to the opposition, and we would have been looking at a 5 match points for Lightning.
Yeah, 100%. And I think we spoke about it a little bit earlier, that we need these teams to be able to be together for a length of time before there's that sense of togetherness, that sense of continuity. Is that the word?
Continuity.
Continuity, that's the one. The flow that they have together. So, yeah, look, I think it just needs time, doesn't it? It was a long World Cup. It's been a long last season, and people have just come back from a break. So, yeah.
Sadia Kabeya is extremely animated out there in this opening 24 minutes.
Look, she's a phenomenal tackler. She's a phenomenal, pretty much everything on the rugby pitch, but something as well that you definitely couldn't replace is her energy. She brings such energy, such dynamism. She's a phenomenal player. She's always chatting up the front row, you know, making sure they're ready for the next scrum. It's brilliant.
She was doing her best to advise Nikki O'Donnell on which way the penalty should go, but a disagreement between the two sees the long arm go the way of Sale Sharks. And I mean, this scrum ecosystem at the moment isn't a particularly one that's conducive to a flowing game of rugby.
I think that penalty might have been the exact opposite of last time, so I think it was the tight head on the Loughborough side there, just cutting that angle in, and unfortunately that is illegal. It's unsafe for the hooker, so that's something they penalise really quickly.
Six to aim for, the middle chosen. Loughborough are doing a terrific job of getting in to the nitty-gritty. In fact, they're right into the heart, and well, it's scant reward for Sagapolu, and Sharks have gone quickly. Everyone's looking at the carnage after the driving maul, but the kick's already in. Westcombe Evans collects, and now we're on. Weaving across the 22. And maybe we'll get a bit of fluidity now. Morale just gets scragged as she's winding up for the pass, stepping in at half-back. Caladine, tip on to her front row partner. Nelson has to dodge Antwist, then takes it on a little further. You don't want to run down Katana Howard's channel. Becky Boyd wears a double hit. And Leah Green, who is a supreme striker of the ball herself, sends it to Holly Aitchison. Aitchison just bounces around with a real elegance. Eagle to eagle. Howard to James.
There is a feeling as if Sale have control of this game right now. They've got the possession, they've got the territory, and they're just biding their time.
Well, that time, it's Hainiala Latui taking us another big right shoulder from May Sagapolu that looked a little high. The player was in descent. Aitchison looking to spark something, puts a bit more range, but the read from Cabea is a cruncher.
As usual from Sadia, that's just her absolute USP. You see her do it time after time. She's always in the right position. She's always low and driving backwards, and that is textbook tackle from her there.
Contact lens. Okay. Time's off.
You know, there's players that you play with, and they are just innately in the thick of it. You know, they pop up in the centres when a monster hit needs to be made. They're at the bottom of a breakdown. They're scoring a try. She's just one of those players that the ball, the action, the excitement just sticks to her like glue.
I know if it was your first time watching her, you would almost think it was luck. But then it's funny because if it happens every game for her entire life, it can't be luck, is it? It's definitely an element of skill that's maybe attuned to magic in some way. I'm not sure.
There's some method to it.
Yeah, definitely. She gets herself in the right position. Look, and she, as I said, she's textbook. Everything she does is textbook. Her carries, she gets nice and low. That body height's always low in everything she does, and I think that just creates such power.
Can we just say as well that she's only 23? I mean, we're looking at least a decade more of Sadia Cabea.
Absolutely. 23, so she's younger than me, but I honestly take so much of what I do from her, which I don't know if that's embarrassing to say, but she's a Red Rose, so I'll let her off. But she's outstanding, and she's so mature as well for her age. Like, I say that as if I'm 45 years old, sorry. I'm only 26, but she is so mature for her age. She's got such a good head on her shoulders, and again, the same as Skaz, she's so humble. She's just brilliant. I think from this scrum we really want to see some more stability from both teams. Actually, we've had a couple of free kicks for an early push, early weight on, a lot of axle loading, which is just where you're putting that weight on far too early and before the hit has actually come, and it's just dangerous to be going into these positions. So what we really want to see here is a good gap and then a good hit on the set and not early weight coming through.
Set. Stay high.
That was a much better hit from Loughborough.
Loughborough win the contest on that occasion. It's a beautiful ball. Kelter just manages to class it on a hit, then wriggles through the challenge that arrives from Rona Lloyd.
Tackle, no, 14, no, not on the side. Thank
Lloyd ushered away. Latui gets back to doing what she does best. Speaking of youth, a 19-year-old just carrying like she's been doing it all her life. Ball popped up precariously. There is some advantage, and finally Matayonga gets a bit of room to weave some magic. Big boom and ride of the hit.
Daisy Herbert-Jones, that is going to be honestly her USP. She loves it.
Inside ball ripping through the Sale defence. Oh, what a score from Talia Brodie.
Look, Talia's an unbelievable player. She's just come off the back of the World Cup, and she's got something different with her when she carries. She's terrifying, honestly. You don't want her to run at you, but she just is outstanding. She brings such pace. She drops her body height. She bashes people off, and there she goes right under the six.
Well, Loughborough have been shackled in their 22. One taste of the air in Sales 22, and Talia Brodie blows through the back line to score a pearler.
I think that's just come off the back of them starting to actually carry with a little bit more aggression, a little bit more pace on the ball. Before, they were just getting stuck in their own half. This is a lot better now.
Well, they've made us wait half an hour, but at long last there's points on the board and it belongs to the host. Loughborough 5, Sale 0. Well, the mere presence of Sagapolu was enough to suck those defenders in against the grain and coming out of the blind spot. Brodie, she had a lot to do here though.
Absolutely, and do you know what? She's had a lot of good carries this game, and what it does is just suck in those Sale players and creates those gaps, as you said. There's another one that's had a good few carries this game already. Absolutely outstanding.
Talia Brodie wasn't even meant to start today. Lily Eyes Campion was meant to be in the row, but a late withdrawal meant a bit of reorganising and Brodie elevated. It's funny how these things work out. Leah Green sweeps up the crumbs, and Brodie has certainly been buoyed by that try. Another carry for the hard carrying blind side. The Tui, she's a bruising carrier, but she's got some delightful feet as well. Nelson dictating things. Cabella scampering in the wide channels, and you hear the purr of the crowd over on that far side. Intercept from Cockayne. That was a gamble, but one that she won. Just arrests a bit of the momentum that Lightning have grasped in these last few minutes, but it's backed up by a knock-on at full stretch from Nick James.
That move from Amy was definitely one that if it didn't go well, she would be getting a bit of a chatting to at half-time, I think. But luckily for her, she made a brilliant read there. Unlucky with the knock-on just after.
Does Amy Cockayne get a chat? Like, I can't kind of envisage that happening.
No, you're absolutely right. She probably wouldn't. That's just for everyone else. That's just a disclaimer for everyone else. I think Amy does what she wants, and it pretty much always goes right. You just see Leah Brebner-Holton checking the call from the 10 there. So most of the time from scrums we'll have a set play, and I think she just had no idea what was going on, unfortunately.
Well, she'll need the ball to do any sort of set play, and it's not coming easy at the moment. The last scrum was an improvement, but this one was back to the bad ways as far as Lightning are concerned. They've got a big blind side to work with there. They've Leah Green paired with Blue Matayonga, and I mean Leah Green she's a 10 by trade, isn't she? Really very, very capable at fullback, but to have those two quality playmakers and then the threat of the wingers outside, this could be a challenge for Sale to defend.
As you said, they need the ball first though, so we'll see how this scrum goes. But I agree, Leah and Baz on that outside there is going to be difficult to defend. Much better set again there, so that was good to see.
Morale boots a ball, trickles through tantalisingly for her chasers, and Duffy just has to leap on the grenade. Big blast from Aliv Kelter, but you can't take the 9. World Rugby looking to put a bit more protection on the person in the scrum half position at the backs of rucks and mauls, in a bid to keep the game flowing a little better.
It just makes the decision making around about that ruck area a lot more important. There, she obviously presumed that there was no ruck, so she could go straight the way through, but she's gone to pick up the ball, so you can't do that.
I don't know if you picked that up through our mics, but the call was for Haniala Latui to watch the run of Howard, but it's fizzed out to Morwenna Talling, who carries like an outside centre with the frame of a number 8, Aitchison. Trickles one through, good field position, and pressure on the Caledine throw once more.
When you've got a line out in this area, you really want to get it back into the opposition's half. So what they're probably looking to do here, secure an easy ball, and then look to Nelly to kick, or look to Leah to kick, and get them out of this position. It's not somewhere you want to be playing.
Oh, beautiful ball under immense pressure. Latui, she only knows one way. That is into other humans.
She is a bulldozer.
Touch missed. Chance for Thorpe to slash through to the 22. Been starved of real counter-attacking opportunity as the Sharks left winger. She's given her side some front foot. I'll tell you what, Antwis wasn't expecting that, was she? Great claim.
Yeah, she did really well to catch that. She absolutely was not expecting that.
Well, Wills cannonballs, and she wears the hit of Sagapolu, which is no mean feat. Talling having an increased presence in the carrying. And Aitchison slips it to Howard. Double pump. Then a slink from Duffy back to Howard. Ciel looking to level things up before the break. 3.5 to go, but an errant pass sees the move break down. Cabella screams for it. Kelter's on hand, and Bo Westcombe-Evans can get after it. She's up against Casolo, number 8 against Winger. The old Saracen has missed it. Green's there, and she gets press ganged out across the paint. Casolo and Aitchison scrambling in unison.
Look, I think that Leah Bartlett there, the original ball carrier, just thought there was space on the outside, but her player was already gone in front of her, so that just wasn't quite the decision that she was looking for there, unfortunately, that caused that initial bobble on the ground for then the kick that saw the scrum happen.
Knocked on by a winger.
So I think just after that foot race, Bo had knocked the ball on, trying to jump on it, and that's why we've now got a sail scrum here.
5, 6.
It's the face of a referee who's losing patience with this scrum.
Yeah, look, you can just see, I don't know if you can see from the camera angle that we've got there, that Leah Bartlett is getting a little bit ahead of her hooker, which is putting a lot of pressure on May, that tight head on the Loughborough side. She's then coming at an angle, and it's getting all sorts of messy in there. So we just really want them all to be square and to hold their own weight before the set. As always, can hear Amy Cocaine chatting her props through it and trying to intimidate the other front row. It's a mental battle just as much as a physical one in there.
6. You called her down.
As called by you, Leah Bartlett penalised, and Nikki O'Donnell has had enough of the chat, the remonstrations, the consternation. It's just penalties now, and let's get on with it. And I think we can all get on board with that, can't we, Alice?
Absolutely. And look, it's really hard for a ref to see all those pictures. They've got 6 different people to be looking at, and then obviously the back row that love to fly off early. So it was great from her to be able to just see that and call it as it is.
Lightning, second 22 entry. We know what happened last time they were here. Talia Brody.
Look, they might not have a lot of possession, but they've got a high conversion rate so far, so we'll see if that continues the way it was.
Kelter, just that late bounce off the left. Takes a one-on-one with Aitchison, who holds on. Casolo has just absolutely rocked Caledine.
Thankfully, she's gotten back up, but the ball has been turned over. That was some hit.
You still have knock-on advantage, Red.
That's what you pay your money for. Another jolting collision, that time involving Daisy Hibbert-Jones.
Advantage over for the knock-on.
The salvation of the touchline sought. Let's have a look at that again from Sharifa Casolo. Caledine round the corner.
What she's done really well here as well is she's hit her right on ball. So easy to then dislodge that ball, and the knock-on happens.
Kelter growing into the game, dances through, and then Casolo comes across. What a game the number 8 is having. New arrival this summer, and made her mark with a hat-trick in the cup game against Loughborough before the PWR proper started. Sagapolu does well to stretch and still make meters. Cabella. Loughborough looking rhythmic. Morale. Whoa, drops it to Nelson, and then body slam by Wills to the deck. Morale in at halfback. Becky Boyd takes 2 sharks to stop her, and she's had the ball crowbarred from her grip.
Not yet, I will tell you.
game's come alive in these closing minutes of the match.
Use. I will tell you when it's time.
So here it looks like they're trying to set up something so that they can clear the ball, although they're making meters, so I wonder if they'll just carry on playing. No.
Well, 40 minutes is up, and 40 minutes of tooth and nail between the Sharks and Lightning. If you look at the stats, possession, territory, carries, opportunity, it all belongs to Sale Sharks. But Loughborough struck like lightning on their one attack of real meaning, and they lead at halftime here at the Cinch Stadium at Franklin's Gardens, 5 points to 0. Well, we're all on the edge of our seats with another 40 minutes to come here at Franklin's Gardens. There is a score between them, and we're going to be bringing you the second half very shortly.
New era.
We are Loughborough Lightning. This is our town. This is our home.
Loughborough have a young and community feel when it comes to the fans.
Strong, fearless,
Electric. Ones to watch this season are Ala Latei and Sadia Kapea.
I'm going to bring us tackles, fast-paced, tries, good rugby.
Speaking to some of the girls, I was like, is it possible to get goosebumps on your face?
Almost that feeling of like we've made a change here and this is it, this is the change.
We were just flying for sort of a couple of days.
Just the most feeling of joy that we'd done it, we'd won this World Cup, we'd done it together.
Definitely a moment that, I'll be thinking about for a long time.
I remember the last 2 minutes because I was like, we've got this, we've won, and I just thought my whole body just shut down. I had Ellie Kildun shouting at me, and I was like, we've won this, like this is crazy.
We are Sale Sharks.
We fear no one.
This is our city. The only team in the north, and that is something that we're so proud of. I think anybody north of the Midlands is going to get behind Sale Sharks.
We have such a loyal fan base. You can always hear the drums and the die-hard fans who show up to every match, rain or shine.
I'm so excited to play at Hayward Road. It's always an amazing atmosphere whenever I've been there before, and yeah, just to be back home.
Sale are going to bring passion, they're going to bring freedom in rugby, they're going to bring a lot of flair, and it's going to be an exciting time to be in the north. We're going to score some tries.
Bring it on.
New era.
Right, Ellis, we're going to take a look at the highlights, and it's a short package because we've only got one try, but I don't think it truly tells the tale of a full-blooded contest here with some terrific defence as well.
Absolutely. I mean, I think we probably could have called it at the start where we were going to see Sadia Kapea putting some massive hits, and I think that might be what we're going to see here.
Well, this was the opportunity spurn for the Sharks. They had a period of real dominance in the 20. Lizzie Duffy, it was there for her to score. And then, after finally breaking free, Talia Brodie elevated from the bench at the very last minute, sending a message to the selectors. Give me the starting jersey week in, week out. And that's all the scores that we've got for the game. But as I said, we're enjoying it, aren't we, Alice?
Yeah, I would love to say I'm on the edge of my seat. I have the tiniest seat in the world, and I'm definitely at the edge of it. It's been outstanding.
You're the tiniest seat in the world, and your knee is also in a brace because you've kind of had every knee operation possible in one going on down there. So we're grateful that you've scaled it up here to see us. But how are you feeling if you're a Sale Shark after that half?
Oh, honestly, I think you'd be frustrated. They've been in the 22 multiple times. They've had most of the possession and most of the territory, but they're just not putting that last pass in. And I don't know what it is. I honestly couldn't tell you what it is because the carries have been aggressive. They've been going the right way, but I think Loughborough's defence has just been relentless. They're suffocating them, and despite all the territory and all the possession, they can't make a score.
And then I guess conversely, from a Loughborough perspective, is it overwhelmingly positive? I mean, they haven't played a lot of rugby, but when they have, they've scored, and their defence has gone toe-to-toe with the Sharks' attack.
Yeah, look, I think it's a difficult one. You're definitely going to be a little bit frustrated by the set piece at the moment. There's a lot of chat amongst the forwards about having good, solid platforms for you to attack off, and I think that's what you're always looking for, is to have a good, solid platform. Doesn't always need to be super dominant, but we want the platform there, and it's just not quite there yet, is it?
Not quite there yet, but I guess there'll always be the sense as well that you can only defend that hard for so long, and there are going to be some bruised bodies after some of the shots that were going in. Like, let's touch on something. Sagapolu, Latui as well, and then Kasolo at the end, which is taking names.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Kasolo at Sharifa, she obviously played at Saracens for the last few seasons, and I think that not only is she a brilliant player on the pitch, but I know she got Players Player while she was with Saracens. She's such a team first individual, so I think she's obviously got the whole package, and I think seeing that bruising shot on Lucy Calladine, I was very surprised Lucy got up. Very happy she did, but it looked horrible.
Well, that's what it's all about. The crowd that we've just shown you there, young, old, men and women, all joining what this fabulous league has to offer, just continuing the legacy of the Rugby World Cup that we've enjoyed this summer. It's 5 points only on the board, but it's a hell of a match, and we're going to be bringing you the second 40 imminently.
We are Loughborough Lightning. This is our town. This is our home.
Loughborough have a young and community feel when it comes to the fans. Strong.
Fearless.
Electric. Ones to watch this season are Ala Latei and Sadia Kapea.
I'm going to bring us tackles, fast-paced, tries, good rugby.
Speaking to some of the girls, I was like, is it possible to get goosebumps on your face?
Almost that feeling of like, we've made a change here, and this is it, this is the change.
We were just flying for sort of a couple of days.
Just the most feeling of joy that we'd done it, we'd won this World Cup, we'd done it together.
Definitely a moment that, yeah, I'll be thinking about for a long time.
I remember the last 2 minutes, because I was like, we've got this, we've won, and I just thought, my whole body just shut down. I had Ellie Kildun shouting at me, and I was like, we've won this, like, this is crazy.
We are Sale Sharks.
We fear no one.
This is our city. The only team in the north, and that is something that we're so proud of. I think anybody north of the Midlands is going to get behind Sale Sharks.
We have such a loyal fan base. You can always hear the drums and the die-hard fans who show up to every match, rain or shine.
I'm so excited to play at Hayward Road. It's always an amazing atmosphere whenever I've been there before, and yeah, just to be back home.
Sale are going to bring passion, they're going to bring team moving rugby, they're going to bring a lot of flair, and it's going to be an exciting time to be in the north.
We're going to score some pride.
Bring it on.
New era.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Cinch Stadium at Franklin's Gardens. It's round 2 of the PWR, and Sale Sharks right there have a comeback to mount. It's not the biggest, it's only 5 points because that's all that was scored in the first half, but don't let that fool you. The first 40 has had us on the edge of our seats, and demonstrative of that is by the fact that pretty much everyone is back in their seats for this second half. They're not wasting any time in the bars or at the concessions. It's Loughborough Lightning versus Sale Sharks, the hosts leading 5 points to 0 by virtue of a sole Talia Brodie try. Holly Aitchison gets the second half underway and drops it into the hands of the lethal Latui, who offloads into the grip of Sagapolu, who pumps the Pistons and drags 3 Sharks across the halfway line with her. Cocaine sluggish to get out of the way, so it's penalty advantage for Lightning. Loughborough, looks like there may have been a change. Is that Catherine Treader on wearing 16? Morale looks so classy when she takes it to the line, just pops the ball into the path of her support. Brodie, full of running since crossing the line. And now Brebner hold it. She travels a little. Oh, it's a spicy pass. And we'll come back for the penalty advantage.
I think Leah's really looking for a short runner there to take out that defender, and I don't know what quite happened. A little bit of mixed comms maybe, but the lack of that short runner means that defence can come right up and into their faces, and that's just not what she's looking for there when she's travelling across. Looking forward to seeing Treads with her first throw of the game, hopefully here. Catherine Treader, that is, sorry, Treads for short, sometimes mini Cheds if anyone's interested.
I think we can respect the intellect of our audience sufficiently. They would have joined the dots there. Well, you can go with Treads. Well, here she is, a lot of pressure on that throw, and well, it's the same issues as the first half that Caledine encountered, not straight.
Do you know, to give her a little bit of credit where credit's due, I do think that was coming pretty straight down the line, and then it's popped off of Daisy's hand there. That's a really unfortunate call for her, because I thought the throw was actually, it was pretty spot on.
Try off the bench last week for Catherine Treader. Howard loves that line, but she gets sandwiched between Treader and Latui. The sliding doors slam on the eagle. This is the shot. But there was already an indiscretion, and Holly Aitchison finds a modest touch from the penalty. But it's take 2 of the line out, albeit a little more advanced up the field. Well, the line out is troublesome for both hookers. Latui thinks about passing and says, hey, I love carrying. And she gets the Lightning going. Morale to Matayonga. Awkward collision. There's some advantage coming the way. And Sagapolu just springs the Sharks off. And that was Morwenna Talling. That's the power the tight head possesses. Lightning looking to strike through Cabella. She's just caught before she reaches the line. Leah Green now working the short side. Cabella pick and go. Still short, but the Sharks shake. Well, they're there to the line. The ball is burrowed down, and I think it's Latui. Of course it is. This girl's a phenomenon.
What a player she is. I mean, it's in her DNA, it's in her blood. She carries like an absolute machine, and it's no wonder that she's gone over there for that try. She's absolutely phenomenal. And what of that carry? I can't not even get any words for it. She spins, she ducks, she fends. She's got everything going for her there. Does May. Outstanding.
Well, they were patient though. Once they did get in behind, one out runners, a pick and go, and then this finish.
That's what you want when you're this close to the line. You want that little space between people's knees and their feet. That's where you're attacking, because you can't stop someone that close to the line if they're going that low. And they did that really well.
A fine conversion from Helen Nelson maximises the effort of Hainiala Latui.
It's Loughborough Lightning 12, Sea Sharks 0.
Thorpe and the Sharks look to respond. It's the dream start to the second half. A dozen to the good, the hosts. Talling gets re-engaged by Sagapoli. She then hunts down Thorpe. The work ethic of the tight head. Very exciting player. Cockayne wants a bit of support, has to launch it a little longer than she might have liked. Howard spots an opportunity, but catches it too flush.
I like what she's trying to do there, though, to find Rona on that wing. They've got a little bit of space there. Lightning are just tightening up to deal with those big ball carries. So the idea to go wide, to use her on that wing is really good, and we might find that it pays off down the line.
Well, there's Hainiala Latui. She's 19 years old. Her father, Aleki, famous Tongan rugby player, he played well into his 40s. If she's got that longevity, then we're in for an exciting couple of decades.
Good to see that decision there from Nelly. I think before we would have given that. That's where the intercepts come, and I think we've learned from the first half, we've learned from last week. She just held on to that and took her head down.
Eva Donaldson races up, makes her tackle. Leah Green just sees the race up from Evie Will, shutting off the options. Kelter, comfortable amongst the forwards when taking contact. Latui, this time a decoy, but just that threat opens up space for others around her. Green, beautiful ball, fist across the face. Brody bombing her way to the line, but by a bootstrap. Cabella picks up and sort of orders her players around her to get out the way.
You can just hear Leah there talking to the forwards, telling them to get in, to take control of the ball here. That's that system change that we're looking at, where they start hitting a bit more narrow and a bit more direct.
Lightning have gone up a couple of gears here in the second half.
Ball is available, no.
Questing for a third. Wonderful variety. They don't mind it in the nitty-gritty, close contact stuff. And they're getting some purchase against the imposing Sharks, but just as I say that, the ball spills free.
Let's go, girls.
You can just see Daisy Hibbert-Jones there just chatting to the forwards, getting the control back. In this area, it's really easy to get a bit of white line fever, get a bit excited, and you just see her, she's got really calm, great leadership, head on her shoulders there.
A scrum in the sun.
Exactly where you want to have a scrum with the heat down on your neck and your back.
It's getting a little chilly in the stands, I can tell you that. But the heat is certainly on for the Sharks. In Coffin corner right now. Backs to the try line. And Casolo's going to carry. Gets wrapped up by Brodie, but slips high with the seatbelt, and that'll be frustrating for Lightning, an easy let-off for Sharks.
Yeah, look, that'll be really frustrating. I think for Talia, that'll be something that she's frustrated with because she is a brilliant tackler. She always makes very powerful shots, but you just can't be hitting people high.
Leah Green, smart to the ball that was dropping short. She's really countered with some purpose today, Leah Green. Sagapolu has just run with venom.
We're going to run out of descriptors for her carrying very soon, to be honest. The same with this one. Ala's absolutely brilliant. She brings the ball on with such pace.
Nelson to Morale. Changing tack from the inside centre. Jacqueline Jaws of Sharps clamping down. Oh, that is tough on Howard. It wasn't her, it was her teammate that didn't roll. Latui, oh! Looked to free up the hand for the offload to Boyd. But certainly there's a bit more freedom to the Lightning now.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, look, it's unfortunate. It's really good to be looking for the offloads to keep the flow of the game going. But you need to get past that defender first. And I think she's just come a wee bit early.
Incredible feed, please.
Yeah, she's made that decision quite early, and she's got that hand out before the second tacklers come in, and unfortunately it's just us lodged the ball. What we really want to see here in this scrum, especially after the last one, is all three of the front row from the Loughborough side staying low and staying square. As soon as one of them takes an angle in, it just makes it a lot more difficult to get us in and seeing that scrum and start moving forward.
Well, one thing that's coming down from World Rugby is they're not really interested in resets anymore. They just want to cut it out, go free kick or penalty, and Nikki O'Donnell is delivering on that. But the free kick misses touch. Wouldn't have been a Sale throw-in anyway, but not sure if they were too keen on inviting the counter from Loughborough from deep. Boyd. Moving left, working the short side. Westcombe Evans gets stopped low. Rona Lloyd just cutting off her ankles. Latui meets her match. That is a booming shot from Casolo.
Crazy that that kind of shot comes in and she still makes 4 meters in the contact though, isn't it?
Cabella, 100 miles an hour onto that one, but Green asked to stretch her fingertips a little too long. And the move breaks down. There's a real verve to Lightning now.
Yeah, for sure. And I think when you're moving through the phases that quickly and you've got momentum, it's really easy to presume that you're still moving forward. Unfortunately, I think Leah was a little bit static and wasn't running onto that ball, and then that was just a bit too far in front of her.
Tish Harper, Charlotte Frey and Olivia Ortiz are entering the field of play. So a few changes. Amy Relf will have departed, and I think Iona Antwis among them.
You could just hear Treads speaking to Nikki there about the scrum and the way the mark has been set, and what she was saying is when she sets the mark, she expects the attacking hooker to go left, and then for the opposite hooker to go to the other side of her. And unfortunately, they're just chasing each other across the mark and creating a difficult set piece for each other. So she's just given them a bit of a warning there and said, right, stop mucking about. We want to get the ball in and out. And that's what's good to see, that hopefully we can get them in and out a bit faster.
Two new pillars either side of Amy Cockayne, Tish Harper and Sophie Benevent, both on for Leah Bartlett and Nick James respectively. Tish Harper, one of the many on the field who've got Loughborough University DNA on them. So Tysh Harper and Sophie Benavent into their first scrum, and well, they're on the side that win a penalty because of the over-exuberance of Lightning.
I hate to say that something's cheating because I know that it's not, but it was very obvious there. Sale's done a very good tactical decision there, and they've held a little bit of weight back because obviously what was happening before is that Loughborough were pushing early, so they've decided to go a little bit softer and let that penalty come in. It was a good decision for sure.
That's part of the dark arts, no?
Absolutely. You can see Amy Cocane's got a bit of a mischievous grin on her face there. She knows exactly what she's done.
Casolo springs it off the top. Howard, we haven't seen her hit for a while, and she's still got it. Bit of wreckage in the wake of her carry. Donaldson. The inside ball, almost the undoing of Loughborough as it was Sharks when Brodie scored in the first half.
Just hear Sadia there getting them to go around and fill the field. We do not want narrow defence. That's exactly when they're going to start taking those outside opportunities in the wing.
Well, Aitchison, bereft of options, sort of only really had Howard, but fortunately, Howard always makes meters. Ortiz taps, goes, challenges the defence, and Rona Lloyd swerves into the black jerseys and into the 22. Talling, lovely soft hands to Frey, breaks the first tackle, then the offload inside to Fielding. Sharks as close as they've been in this half. Advantage in the back pocket as Charles is fouled. Casolo, if anyone deserves to cross the paint, it's the hard-hitting number 8. And Sharifa Casolo, at long last, gets the Sharks on the board.
Yeah, she's been brilliant today, hasn't she? And on both sides of the ball, some big hits and some big carries. And she's managed to there get the payment for all that the work that she's been doing all game.
I'm good, thank you. 30 seconds.
What Sale have done really well there in that set of phases is they're looking to the outside shoulder of that second or third defender. That traps the first and second defender inside and means that they can get quick ball and they can score the try. Yeah, that's what happened, isn't it?
Well, unexpectedly, Holly Aitchison's pushed that conversion wide of the right upright. So Loughborough have been spared the full pain of a 7-pointer. It's just the 5 for Sale, but they're back to within a score in sight of Lightning.
God, it's close, isn't it?
There was a sense that Lightning were going to get that third try and maybe take the game away, but it is really game on now. And Howard, well, I'm disappointed she's kicked that. It's definitely the right call, but you want her to wind up and go hard. She carries with such purpose.
Yeah, she makes for great entertainment, doesn't she?
Tackle!
Morale. Nelson. Segapolu. Another carry to her stat pack. And Treader gets hit low by Katie Childs. And there's Moena Talling. Off goes Sadia Kabea. One-on-one with her fellow Red Rose. Aitchison bearing down. One last swerve from Super Sadia. And then dragged down by the scruff of her jersey.
There was a lot of pink shirts there and not a lot of black ones in support for Sadia. She did very well there to make sure they didn't steal the ball.
Carmela Morale battles her way almost to the left-hand corner. Sadia almost finishes the job. Instead, she lifts it to Latui, and Hainiala Latui bags herself a brace. But it was all from the break of Sadia Kabea.
That is a formidable pair, to be fair. And if you didn't know Ala's name at the start of the game, you certainly will now. That's absolutely brilliant from her.
Injected through a hole. And then what about the footwork?
It's brilliant, and also look at the amount of pink shirts she's managed to get past there. She's not just beaten one defender, she's beaten about 7, and then to be able to do long present, get it back so that they didn't then steal the ball when she was isolated is also a very underrated skill. Often when someone makes a break, that's the first thing that happens, they get turned over straight away, so that was really great from her.
A nigh on carbon copy of her last successful attempt. Nelson does the business again. Flags up, and Loughborough Lightning back on the up. They reinstate their lead, but now to the tune of 14 points. Loughborough 19, Sale 5.
Gonna have to start thinking of new words to describe Sadia and Ala instead of brilliant, great, phenomenal, unreal. I don't know, I need a thesaurus in front of me.
I've got it written down here on my notes, force of nature.
That was some challenge from Baz there, and a brilliant take in the air.
Sale. There is a bit of energy that's been delivered from their replacements. Benevent with the carry there, crept up on Childs for a moment, but let's not forget she used to play centre, recently converted to back row, so she's got the hands to take a pass like that. Donaldson, she hasn't got any teammates behind her, so she's going to have to run back in to the heavy traffic. Talling. Deft hands. Howard straightens. Again, just sucks in defenders. Cocaine, late shift of her feet and slips the tackle of Latui. But into the 22, Harper, big bust. And then the offload to her fellow prop, Benevent, taking shocks to 15 metres shy. Wills out to Aitchison, who finds a way, but it's because there's been some artful blocking in there.
Yeah, look, Sadia did really well to get up and read that, and you just can't get in her way when she's going to make that tackle. That was a really good read from Sadia there. See, she's swum off that first defender and she's made it through. But I think it was Eva there just gets in her way when she goes to try and get Holly on that second tackle. You just can't do that, unfortunately. Although we all try.
Well, here are 3 players very worthy of arrest. Leah Brebner Holden is leaving the field, and so too Anne Young and May Sagapolu, who I dare say could be in the running when we start talking player of the match and we put it to the polls. That's your job, Ellis. I'm grateful to not have to make that decision.
Yeah, she's had some game.
Just the timing off on that occasion.
I think there was a little bit of confusion there. I think Ala had presumed that the ball was going out the back behind her, but obviously someone like that running a short line, you don't want to miss it, and she's just not realised it was for her.
Remiss of me to not mention the replacements as well, who've come onto the field. We've got Amelia Williams, who she of the 50-metre solo stunner last week at the Stoop. If you haven't seen it, where have you been? Get online immediately. And Christine Bilal, who made her 50th appearance last week as well against Quins for Lightning.
She's got a lot of experience in the scrum and the set piece as well, so I'm hoping that brings a little bit calm, collected nature to this scrum. We'll just see what she manages to do here. You can see she's nice and square and she's driving right over the top.
Goodness me, carnage at the scrum.
That was brilliant, individual brilliance there from Christine, I have to say. That was a brilliant scrum from her. You can see her nice and square and low.
Thorpe gets across the halfway line. That looked forward from Aitchison, but will play. Talling just continues to get through a mountain of work. The industry in that woman's bones. Oh, the offload was there to be clutched, but there was already some advantage being played.
That was Talia, I think, rolling into the 9. You just can't do that because you're on an offside position and you're disrupting play.
Thanks, mate. Daisy, that's formal
So
warning now for tackle rolling away.
Alicia Maud
Yeah, you can tell me.
is on at scrum half for Lightning as well.
Amy, just hold.
A try
Just hold there a second.
pretty much within seconds of coming onto the field
I'll just ask
last
you to pass
week.
it there. Flip over me.
And we have a pause as some instructions are disseminated, though I bet they're not talking about what Nikki O'Donnell just said. I bet they're talking about some other tactics.
Absolutely. It would be silly not to use the little breaks to do a little tack talk. Especially with changes being made, you just want to make sure everyone's on the same page.
Nick James is back on as well. It was a blood replacement previously. Nice ball inside, but it's read by Cabella. Frey Aitchison skips, but skips too wickedly.
You could see Holly Aitchison coming around the corner there with such pace. You can see that the Loughborough defence are not going to be able to get around the corner in time. If that pays off, that is a surefire try in the corner. Just unfortunate. Another bounce pass this time didn't quite work out.
Let's get set then, girls.
You can just hear Eva Donaldson there geeing up her front row after that last scrum. I think they're going to need a little bit extra talking to, so she's injecting a bit of energy into that scrum to make sure that they can get a good shove here.
Fine. Set.
I think that experience has done wonders for Loughborough here. Their scrum just performing a little bit better now.
Speaking of experience, a few more so than Aleph Kelter, both 7s and 15s. Oh, Donaldson swarms the kick and somehow launches it back inside. Doesn't get the reward of it falling into her teammates' hands. But now Loughborough have their backs to the wall.
You can hear Alicia Maud screaming for a screen there. That's so that people don't get through and do that the way that Donaldson's just done. You need to be protecting your 10 in that area.
Nelson lifts her eyebrows knowingly that she got away with one there. But all credit to Donaldson and that persistence.
This will be you.
Yeah, look, Eva is such a workhorse. She'll always put herself in the best position, and that's just through sheer grit and determination. Actually, it was a shame she didn't manage to pick that up and score it. It would have been some highlight reel.
Yeah, I saw her play when she was at Edinburgh University, not that many years ago, to be honest, and fine player, really classy skill set. A lot to like about Eva Donaldson.
Absolutely, and look, she's really grown into being a bit of a leader now. You can see her there in that line out. She's calling the line out, so she's in charge of making sure the ball goes wherever they want it to go. She's calling and is in charge of that essentially, and that's a great leadership role for her to have taken on, and something that she's really thriving in right now.
What numbers? 6, 2, and 3. There we go.
Well, just as we're picking her up, Donaldson is replaced. I think Nick James's race is finally run in its entirety. And we'll say Amy Cockayne leaving the field. So Trudy Cowan is on wearing 20. That's who was on the pitch singing opera before the game today. She sings opera at every stadium she goes to as part of her pre-match build-up, and she's done it ever since she was playing as a young girl.
Yeah, absolutely. When I played with Trudy at DMP, and she was always operatic. It was amazing. Actually, a couple of pints in her and you'd get her singing it on the bus as well. So yeah, she's quite a natural-born entertainer on the field and off it.
She's a set of pipes on her, I tell you. I was impressed with what I heard. Steady as she goes. Loughborough sling it away. Kelter to Morale, who just held on a beat too long, and Wills caught her. But she's also knocked it on in the process of the tackle. Cabella to Kelter.
No, you step back. Step back. Advantage
Nelson,
over for the knock ball.
Brody, big shots flying across. Cowan delivering it. Green. Morale. No way through for Lightning at the moment, and Nelson wisely opts for the boot. Sliced somewhat, doesn't get the sliced bounce. Instead she gets Duffy. Duffy beaten by Nelson. She hasn't beat Harper. Tread has been lively since coming onto the field. Green, Brody, really impressed with the try-scoring back row today. Then it's Kelter. Spaces, softer shoulders beginning to open up for Lightning.
You can see Nikki communicating really well with the Sale players there about not touching the 9, even if they've made it all the way through that ruck. We're really protecting that.
Green, Cabella, Westcombe Evans. Drops it on the laces, sits up kindly for Duffy, but Westcombe Evans gets her woman.
That was a brilliant piece of play from Bo Westcombe Evans there. The knowledge and the decision making to put that on the boot and just have a foot race was really great from her. From such a young player as well, I just feel like she's really coming into her own already.
Had such a long stint out with injury as well that derailed her season last year. Red Rose as well, capped at WXV.
Wait in front. Wait.
Yeah, and I think she's dealt with that injury really well. She's went away, she's put a lot of work in. You're working hard in the gym, all that sort of stuff to make sure that she's coming back stronger, faster, and all those things. I think after an ACL, that's exactly what you need.
Bulu Matayonga scragged by Wills defensively. Wills and Howard have worked very, very well together in the midfield today. Brody is really getting through some work now. Just Morale looking to thread the needle, but her teammates not quite on the same wavelength.
And look, this looks like tiring stuff. You had quite a few players there as soon as the ball went out, taking a knee and taking a wee breath.
Just wait, girls. There's subs. Just hold. 13. Cancel. Hang on. Just wait. We've got subs. Black 13. 13 sub. Thank you. Girls, Seal, step on the edge for me. Thank you.
Olive Kelter has left the field, and Ellen Scantlebury
Black to flow.
onto the edge.
She's through the middle.
So there'll be a slight reshuffling. Scantlebury, an out-and-out wing, a real try scorer.
No
Just like Latui, he's got herself a double today. Westcombe Evans just tucks it under the arm.
Let it come, Red, let it come. Thank you.
Lightning finding numbers, finding holes. And looking for not just the bonus try, but the try to kill off these Sharks. A little under-resourced at that ruck, and Sale sense it.
Let go.
Nelson to Latui. Casolo goes toe-to-toe once more. What a duel it's been between these two. Cabella wants some. She gets served up by her fellow Red Rose. And then the counter comes in. The endeavour, the passion, the desire to front up, undiminished, even though we're about to clock 74 minutes.
And I think that's exactly how you want to do a counter. She was not targeting 9. And she was going straight through the ball, and that's what's disrupted. That's what's disrupted the pass there, not her going to tackle the 9.
Number 2 for Sale. Number 6 for Loughborough. Number 5 for... If we, who's just come on?
Just a message.
Stage as well.
Crouch. 5. Set.
Short side gets targeted. Loughborough travel. Loughborough threaten. Scantlebury first touch of the ball and tries to slip one out the back door, and the knock-on is the result.
By black, then by red. Red scrum. Yeah. Girls 7, sub.
Look, that was really unfortunate. I think what Ellen's trying to do there is get that ball on the switch to, I think it was Leah Green. Unfortunately, I don't think we quite knew it was going on, but it's good attempts to try and keep that ball going, keep it flowing, especially in this 22 when they want to make it through to the try line.
Let's go then, girls. Let's build.
All right, so in amongst all of that, Sadia Cabella has left the field. Kendall Wardby's on. She's a fabulous young player. Really like Kendall Wardby. But for you guys who are all tuning in, it is time for you to go to the polls. Who's our player of the match going to be? You've got 4 options as chosen by Ellis here. If you're a Sharks fan, you've got the option of Sharifa Casolo or Amy Cockayne. And if you like what Loughborough have put together, your options are Talia Brody and Hainiala Lutui. Ellis, I am outraged that May Sagapolu has not made your top 4 there, but I mean...
I know I had her name there and then scribbled out, and someone else's name there and then scribbled out. It was a really, really difficult one. But unfortunately for me, the day at the scrum wasn't good. It wasn't good, and I know she can do better than that.
A purist's lens denies Sagapolu an opportunity. But this game isn't done and dusted yet. There's plenty more to play for. Sale, can they capture a draw? They need a score quick. They're outside losing bonus point territory. Lightning are only looking at 4 match points at the moment. They need a 4th. And they've got a penalty to help advance them down the field. Lycia Maud wants to go quickly. And just there, number 22 as well. That's Fancy Bermudez, the Canadian international, making her debut here. A late promotion to the bench. She wasn't going to be involved, but that's a bit of quality to be able to pull into your match day squad at the last moment.
Edge for you, girls. Edge for you. Step up. Step up, girls.
I think it's okay now. It's all given a chat out. Try and focus on the bonus point. Oh, full stretch, and wasn't the greatest lift. Aitchison to Wills. Rare moment for her to stretch her legs out wide. Same can be said for Rona Lloyd, who proves elusive. She'll have gone up against Fancy Bermudez plenty of times on the international 7 scene. But Rona has been wrapped up.
Yeah, you just heard Nikki shout maul there. That was a really great decision there. As soon as you've made that tackle, you hoist them up, you get your hips in. As soon as referee calls maul, you know the ball's pretty much yours unless they can get it back. And unfortunately, Sale just couldn't get it back there. I don't think there's been many mauls that Rona Lloyd would have been involved in.
Let's go, girls.
Probably a place she doesn't want to be, quite frankly.
You've got to.
Polls close at full-time whistle, everybody. Casolo, Cocaine, Brody or Latui. Who is your pick?
Set.
A minute and a bit of change to go.
All back. All back.
Loughborough surrender the penalty.
Sailor doing really well here to just keep hitting those rucks, slow down Loughborough ball and ultimately counter and get the turnovers. That's a good couple of times now that they've done that. And it's a perfect time to do it when people are getting a bit tired and a bit lazy over ball.
Back to me, mate.
Holly Aitchison finds touch. Would you, as a forward, would you have been looking for her to be more ambitious there?
Yeah, maybe a little bit, but you know, I'd rather the ball went out than it got gathered by the opposition team further down the pitch. So a safe kick for sure, but look, they're in that half. They're going to look to attack here. We'll just see what they can put together.
Good contest.
What a leap. Goodness me. Brody with a late surge for that player of the match. Gong. And then Latui knocks on.
Look, that's really putting your body on the line, isn't it? Not only are you pretty high in the air, but you're also leaping to the right-hand side to try and intercept the ball. She's done very well there.
Laura Perrin on for Evie Wills. It's a shred of time for the 26-year-old to make her mark. A converted try takes a losing bonus point for the Sale Sharks. That's all they can hope for now.
We're wondering what Sale are going to do here. They've got quite a big stack in there, but you've got Holly hugging the wing on the left-hand side.
Aitchison. Oh, it just held on to it too long. It was ponderous, waiting for the runners to hit their lines. Morale, what a pick-up. Oh, the less said about the ensuing kick, the better, though.
Don't know what's happening with the kicks today. There are a lot more shins involved than feet. Not that I'm an expert, I've never kicked in my life.
Yeah, that was pure Toblerone shin there from Carmela Morale.
It's Scarlett fielding there on the touchline. I think she's been part of Sale for quite a long time, unfortunately been plagued by injury. I think she might have done her ACL a couple of times now, but it's great to see her back on the pitch and fighting fit.
One of the Shark OGs.
Good decision, 19.
Yeah, and she's great at set piece. She's very, like, a player you can rely on is what I'd say.
No!
Casolo steps in at half-back. Harper. Real handful, Harper. Bringing the noise late in the day to the Lightning defence. Casolo.
Winger and 9, what can she not do, honestly?
Marauding. Harper gets hit low. That's how to stop her. Thorpe looks a real box of tricks when given a bit of opportunity. Aitchison. Hands willing runners outside. There's new life in the Sharks here. The prospect of the losing bonus point may have gone. But Lightning go off their feet. One last defensive stand for Loughborough to put up. One last roll of the attacking dice for the Sale Sharks.
Go.
They had a bonus point within 23 minutes last week against Tigers. If they're to do it now, they'll have needed all 83 for this one in a losing cause. Claimed at the front, just a bit of a juggle, but now safely secured at the back. Moore goes to the deck, and they'll have to go it the hard way.
Back feet. Thank you.
Forwards cluster with intent. Child's repelled. Low body positions of the Lightning employed to get underneath Harper. Howard sells the dummy, goes for the hole, gets boomed by 2. Oh, around the corner, Fielding gets dished up. Ortiz travels.
Timing's fine. Not now.
No way through still for the Sharks. It is dedicated, it is committed from the Lightning. They do not want to relinquish this losing bonus point without a fight.
Hands out, Mark. Hands out.
There's space, there's numbers, there's Rona Lloyd, who skirts round the edge, steals a few more meters inside. And Holly Aitchison will now have a kick to claim a battling losing bonus point.
I think that was a long time coming for Sharks, wasn't it? All that possession in the first half, and all that. It was a atrocious battle, I think would be the word I would use, for all those carries that they just made there. But finished off by Rona Lloyd as usual. Very, very good from her.
Holly Aitchison, her first start in Sharks colours, and she proves the difference of departing Franklin's Gardens with nothing or 1 precious point, a battling bonus in defeat, and a nice sheen to the end of the Sharks' efforts here at the home of the Lightning. But make no bones about it, it's Loughborough's day. They've won with grit, with style, but not with a winning bonus point. Full time here, an enthralling contest. Loughborough Lightning 19, Sale Sharks 12. Polls are now closed, and I am delighted to inform you, and I doubt many of you will be too surprised, that today's player of the match is Loughborough Lightning number 5, Hainiala Latui.
Yeah, look, she's such a shining example of that Loughborough pathway. She's come up through the buck system. She's had some unbelievable carries, unbelievable tackles, and it's completely and utterly deserved from her. Such a young talent.
Well, there she is, Hainiala Latui. Remember the name. You just can't help but feel this woman is going places, and by places, we mean to the top. Right, let's take a look at how this match unfolded. Just the 1 try to speak of in the first half, but it opened up awfully pleasingly come the second. And, well, this was an opportunity spurned in the first half, and this was Sale's best passage of the game. They came out firing, they camped themselves in the 22, but they just couldn't break down the Loughborough defence. Someone who came blasting on. It was Loughborough's first real attack was Talia Brodie, getting that score in the first half. and Loughborough really came out firing in the second, Ellis.
Yeah, I think that second half definitely showed a bit more about what both teams were about, actually. In the first half, Sale couldn't really convert. They had a lot of the possession. And then in that second half, I think Loughborough put the foot down a little bit, and everything got a bit more aggressive and a little bit more front foot, a little bit more momentum, and you just see tries come after that, I think.
Well, that being said, Sharks, and really led by Sharifa Kasolo, one of their standout players, battled on. They got the score. This one was unbelievable. Sadia Kabea in full flight. The freedom of the Sale Sharks backline. It took an agricultural challenge, shall we say, from Holly Aitchison to drag down her fellow Red Rose. And then it was all about composure, but also power, with Kabea combining with our player of the match, Lutui, for her second.
Yeah, Lutui's got some talent on her, on and off the pitch. I think she braids everyone's hair right now as well, so she's actually a multi-talented gal.
Multi-talented and probably getting the plaudits there from Nathan Smith at the moment. That last score you saw was Rona Lloyd's effort to set up a conversion for Aitchison to brilliantly convert for a losing bonus point. How telling will that be come the end of season shakedown? But for you, Ellis, what's going to be the mood in that huddle there with Nathan Smith, who's just stepped out, the whole staff, the amassed squad there?
Well, we said at the start of the game that it takes a little bit of time for teams to click and gel. I think Loughborough had a great run in the Cup, but then you've obviously had all the internationals returning. I think we'll be a little bit disappointed, honestly. I think we could have converted more, even though we had that high conversion rate. We could have had more possession, but it was a really good game, a very, very well matched game, and brilliant entertainment. So yeah, overall I think positive, but slight frustrations maybe with the set piece. Not that was May's fault. I'm going to have to take that back. I love her. She's great at rugby. May, I love you. I'm sorry.
Oh, it might be too little too late. That's one individual I wouldn't like to be ruffling their feathers on the live stream. Let's talk about Sale, because look, they've come away with a losing bonus point, and they are, they've got a lot of new players coming in. I know there's a big cohort from Tigers, so there's a degree of cohesion there, but also almost sort of integrating two separate groups. So, there's work on connection to be done there. But they're not going to go away from this particularly disheartened, are they?
No, and I think that element of connection is half done by the people they've brought in already. Like, they've brought in Scots, they've brought in Sharifa, and they've brought in people who already fit that northern grit, that ethos that they have of Northern Rugby Matters. I mean, the Scots will maybe be a bit disappointed saying that they're from the true north, if you know what I mean. But all of that kind of runs in the same thread, and I think it's obvious today that they've got a little bit of connecting still to do, but actually they're definitely more than halfway there, so it's really cool to see.
Right, now I've always wanted to say this to all of you who are tuning in. If you don't want to know the score of Leicester-Bristol, look away now. Right, here we go, everybody. Still in play at the moment, and it looks like a torrid day for the Tigers. 67-0 down at the moment against Bristol Bears, who looks like they've come out like caged bears, having not featured in the opening round. Exeter Chiefs, they went close against Gloucester Hartbury. The first half laid it down really for the champions. Here, you've just enjoyed this match here, Loughborough Lightning. No bonus point, but a victory, and one that they needed, having come out second best against Quins in the opener. And if you're quick, you can hop across the TNT now. We've got a London derby. We've got a replay of the semi-final, a replay of the PWR Cup final from weeks ago. Saracens v Quins. When is that not a spicy affair? So once we wrap up here, get across the TNT, and that is some Sunday, back-to-back PWR. Right, Ellis, can I just say that was an absolute blast? Will you come and join us again?
I'd love to, yeah. My first time commentating, I had such a good time.
You handled it like an absolute pro. Well, thank you to you for all coming along as well. This is the re-energized, rebooted, just fabulous PWR, and we're loving bringing every game to you this season. YouTube, iPlayer, TNT, if you want the PWR, we got you. Loughborough have got their first win of the campaign, and Sale Sharks leave with a precious losing bonus point in an absorbing contest. Round 2 has come thick and fast. You can head over to TNT now for Saracens v Quins, but from Ellis and I, it is good afternoon.